I've done personally, and what I'm advising my clients to do, is we invest in a lot of overseas stocks, value stocks, stocks that have a lot of real tangible assets on their balance sheet, that have good earnings, that pay good dividends, in foreign currencies. The businesses have a lot of pricing power. They can raise prices to offset rising costs. And that's what you want to own. And we own a lot of commodity related, energy, agriculture, mining, a lot of precious metals related investments, gold and silver mining stocks. These are the type of investments that will do very well in an inflationary environment, in a stagflationary environment. We're invested in emerging markets. I think those markets will do very well with a weak U.S. dollar. So you want to get those portfolios now before they become too expensive with the dollar crash. Well, I'm not buying my value stocks in the U.S. because even value stocks in the U.S. are expensive. They're just value relative to momentum stocks, which are ridiculously expensive. And those are the stocks that are going to crash, even with inflation. But no, we're investing in overseas markets where we actually do get a good value for the money. We're buying stocks at historically average to below average PEs, with dividend yields that far exceed the yields available, on bonds. So we're getting good value. We're getting good income. And I think these businesses will do well. And what's happened during the bubble is people have been willing to pay a premium for growth stocks. And so much so, there's been so much money going into that sector that the value stocks have kind of just been ignored. And I think that when inflation rears its head in a big way, either the Fed raises rates to fight it or just allows it to continue. But either of those scenarios is bearish for high growth stocks, high multiple, low earning stocks. And I think that as that bubble breaks and the returns improve out of the value sector, that more of the institutional money that has been flooding into momentum is going to move back into value. And so those flows are going to cause these value stock prices to go up.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now...
and so therefore you want to position yourself before the herd drives the prices a lot higher. During inflation, paper money, fiat currencies are losing value. And so prices are going up. So gold is a commodity, and the price of gold will go up along with the price of nickel and lead and wheat and oil and cotton and corn, right? All the things that we need, right? All those prices go up. Now, you're not going to load up on cotton. I mean, how much? I mean, you'd have to have a lot of space to store it, and you'd have to have the right temperature and, wheat. I mean, how are you going to store oil? You're going to have big tanks in your backyard. So if you want to buy a commodity that's easy to store and has a lot of value in a small place, well, that's gold, right? And so gold is a good hedge against inflation because even if you don't need the gold, you can buy it anyway because somebody's going to need it. Jewelers are going to need it. Computer chip manufacturers are going to need it. It's used in dentistry and aerospace. So it's a commodity that people are going to use, but you can store it. And other central banks also, when there's a dollar crisis and their reserves are in dollars and they're worried about the dollar going down, what are they going to own? The only other reserve asset that they have at their disposal is gold. So you'll have central banks that'll be buying gold, and a lot of other investors. So there's going to be a lot of demand for gold in the future as an alternative to dollars or other fiat currencies. So I don't look at gold the way I look at investments because gold doesn't throw off a return. I look at gold as an alternative to dollars or euros or yen because if I bury dollars in my backyard, I don't get a return on those dollars either, right? So the question is, what do you want to bury in your backyard? Dollar bills or gold coins, right? The gold coins have a much better chance of being worth something in the future than those pieces of paper. But I'm not buying gold at the exclusion of making investments. I still want to be invested in stocks. I still want to be invested in real estate. I don't want to have all my money in liquidity in gold. Now, if I thought everything was overpriced, right? If I thought all the real estate was too expensive, all the stocks were too expensive, all the art, all the other investments, if I just wanted to wait it out in cash, yeah, I would have everything in gold, right? If I was of the opinion that every single asset was overpriced. Being in gold was better than being in stocks because gold was down about 30% and stocks were down about 50%. But obviously being in cash was better than being in gold.
I have bad news for you. If you're not rich by now, you're screwed. And if you're in debt, you're even double screwed. How so, you might wonder? Well, the sad truth is that you're working your whole life to make someone else rich. The mega corporations, the banks, the politicians, everyone is getting richer. They get your money. And what is even worse, they get your time, they get your life. You are not even in a rat race, you're in a financial prison. But what could a solution for you look like? Honestly, I don't know, but I know what a solution for me would look like. It's very simple. I use whatever money I have and I multiply it with 1,000. This could make my life much easier and probably yours as well. If you have $1,000 available and multiply this with 1,000, I believe that this could solve some financial issue for the one or the other. Of course, if you're ugly, you would have to multiply it with much more than 1,000. My name is Markus Dan, and this is what I decided to do. I decided to 1000x my money. This is not a joke. I know what you may be thinking. What is this guy talking about? How should this work? This is not possible. Well, I made a detailed video where I laid out my plan. And some clever folks might even want to look at this plan and copy it and do exactly what I do. This is just a little hint on the side. You have two options. You leave, you forget what you have seen. You do whatever you're doing and you hope that somehow you get some other results. Good luck with that. Or you click the link below the video. You enter your email address because I'm not showing this to everybody. You at least watch my video on how I plan to 1000x my money. The choice is yours. Make the right choice. Join me. See what a different future you could have. See at least how I plan to do the 1000x. So click on the link below, enter your email address, and I see you on the other side. Your Markus Dan.